What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for MLB Monday, May 30th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's MLB slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, we have a 6-game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. So if you want to pay up at pitcher here tonight, your man is Walker Buehler, and he's pitching against a low-salary batting team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Walker Buehler is giving up a .682 OPS versus lefties. He's facing 5 lefties here tonight. The Pirates have only hit 2 of his last 10 pitches. That's a small sample size, but a good start. He's $10,300 FanDuel salary. He's $1,100 less on DraftKings, so I much prefer that DraftKings price. And he's averaging 31 fantasy points per game on the season, has an ERA of 2.91, has a record of 5-1, pitching an average of 91 pitches per game. So if you want to pay up here, I like Walker Buehler here versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, if you want to save some salary on the pitcher position here on this slate, take a look at David Peterson, pitching against a low-salary batting team, the Washington Nationals. David Peterson is only giving up a .676 OPS versus righties and a .585 OPS versus switch hitters, facing 6 righties and 2 switch hitters. So the splits are fantastic for David Peterson. The Nationals have only hit 4 of his last 16 pitches. That's a .250 batting average. Again, pretty small sample size there, but a good start. And David Peterson is only $8,700 FanDuel salary, and he's $500 less on DraftKings, averaging 28 fantasy points per game on the season. He has an ERA of 2.16. Record is 2-0, pitching an average of 78 pitches per game. So I like David Peterson here versus the Washington Nationals. Okay, let's take a look at the catcher first base position. If you want to pay up here, I like Freddie Freeman with a 16% batting advantage over Zach Thompson. Freddie Freeman is batting 7% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .912 OPS versus righties. Zach Thompson pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 9% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .772 OPS versus lefties. And Freddie Freeman is 2 for 5 with a .900 OPS versus Thompson. He's $4,100 FanDuel salary, $1,400 more on DraftKings, averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .306. So I like Freddie Freeman here versus Zach Thomas. Now, if you want to save some salary at this position, here's a value play. I like Christian Vasquez with a 57% batting advantage over a low-salary pitcher, Tyler Wells. Christian Vasquez batting 23% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .758 OPS versus righties. Tyler Wells pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, 34% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .722 OPS versus righties. Now, Christian Vasquez is 1 for 4 versus Wells, but I like this pick because he's only $2,400 FanDuel salary, $1,100 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's been on fire, scoring 19, 16, and 7 fantasy points in the last 3 games, and he has a batting average of .302. So I like Christian Vasquez here versus Tyler Wells. Before I continue with the picks,
I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And then we'll send you $100 PayPal.
So it's that easy?
And we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video.
So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. Here's another value play. I like Gavin Lux with a 33% batting advantage over Zach Thompson. Gavin Lux batting 24% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .737 OPS versus righties. Zach Thompson, he is pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 9% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .772 OPS versus lefties. Now, there's no at-bats versus Thompson yet, and Gavin Lux is only $2,500 FanDuel salary, $1,300 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's got a batting average of .273. So I like Gavin Lux here versus Zach Thomas. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. Another stud pick that I like on this slate is Raphael Devers, and he's batting against Tyler Wells. Raphael Devers is batting 16% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .987 OPS versus righties. Now, Tyler Wells, he's got a .477 OPS versus lefties, and Raphael Devers is 0 for 1 versus Wells, but Raphael Devers has been on fire. He scored 25, 15, and 22 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He's averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .345, and Vegas thinks this is going to be a high-scoring game. 10 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I think this will be a good game to stack on this 6-game slate. So I like Raphael Devers here versus Tyler Wells. Okay, let's take a look at the shortstop position. So I like Xander Bogaerts with a 35% batting advantage over that same low salary pitcher, Tyler Wells. Xander Bogaerts batting a .889 OPS versus righties, and Tyler Wells pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .722 OPS versus righties. Xander Bogaerts is 1 for 3 versus Wells, and that one hit was a home run. He's $3,900 FanDuel salary, $1,500 more on DraftKings, averaging 11 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's also been on fire, scoring 25, 6, and 32 fantasy points in the last 3 games. He has a batting average of .328, so I like Xander Bogaerts here versus Tyler Wells. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Now, this pick just kind of caught my eye. If you're looking for a low salary value play, take a look at Louis Gillimore. With a 33% batting advantage over Eric Freddie, Louis Gillimore is batting 21% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .836 OPS versus righties, and Eric Freddie is pitching his worst ball versus lefty batters, 12% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .804 OPS versus lefties. Louis Gillimore is 2 for 7 versus Freddie, That's a .286 batting average and a .730 OPS. Now, he's only $2,000 FanDuel salary. He's $1,300 more on DraftKings, averaging only 6 fantasy points per game on the season, but he scored 12, 18, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games, and he has a batting average of .355. So I like Lewis Gillimore here versus Eric Freddie. Okay, let's take a look at the outfield position. So a stud on the slate, I think he's a home run hitter. I like JD Martinez with a 32% batting advantage over the low salary pitcher Tyler Wells. So there's a lot of options here to stack up batters versus Tyler Wells. JD Martinez is batting a .940 OPS versus righties. Tyler Wells is pitching his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .722 OPS versus righties. And JD Martinez is 1 for 2 versus Wells, and that one hit was also a home run. He's $4,000 FanDuel salary, $1,700 more on DraftKings, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .379. So I like JD Martinez here versus Tyler Wells. Now, another value play on the slate is Alec Thomas with a 43% batting advantage over Spencer Strider. Alec Thomas is batting 43% better versus righty pitchers, batting a .963 OPS versus righties. Spencer Strider giving up a .524 OPS versus lefties. There's no at-bats versus Strider yet. Alec Thomas is $2,800 FanDuel salary, $600 more on DraftKings, averaging 8 fantasy points per game on the season. He has a batting average of .273, so I like Alec Thomas here versus Spencer Strider. And I also like Mark Canha. He's batting against Eric Freddie, and Mark Canha is batting a .60 OPS versus righties, a little bit better than he is batting versus lefties. Eric Freddie is giving up a .706 OPS versus righties, but I like this pick. Although it's a small sample size, he is 2 for 2 versus Freddie with a 2 OPS, and Mark Canha is only $3,100 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. He's averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, and he has a batting average of .282. So I like Mark Canha here versus Eric Freddie.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.